What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated three-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO, World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the number one best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terence Bud Crawford, who has a record of 39 wins, no loss, no draw, 30 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8", with a 74-inch arm reach. He's going into the most highly anticipated fight in 42 years, the biggest fight of his career, the most important fight of his career, against another undefeated, unified, three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top two, if not number one in many people's eyes, definitely top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, in Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. has a record of 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. With that said, they are set to face off July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. Now, Errol Spence is the A side, based off of the numbers, based off of the revenue draw, and popularity. Errol Spence is the bigger draw. Terence Crawford has done 3 pay-per-views in his career, headline 4 pay-per-views, and Errol Spence has done about 4 or 5 pay-per-views himself. Terence Crawford has done a high of 150,000 pay-per-view buys with Showtime Sean Porter, 2-time welterweight world champion, now retired future Hall of Famer. That was in Terence Crawford's fight in November of 2021. Okay. He did a pay-per-view with Victor Postol that reportedly did about 50 to 60,000. Pay-per-view with Amir Khan that did about 150,000, although Bob Arum says it was less. And David Avanesian did about 150,000 total. Okay. Errol Spence with Sean Porter did 325,000 pay-per-view buys alone. So Errol Spence is the A side. So Terence Crawford being a network promotional free agent to make this massive fight, again, I can't reiterate this enough. It's the biggest fight in 42 years since September 16, 1981, Sugar Ray Leonard versus Thomas the Hitman Hearns for undisputed in 2-belt major belt era for the WBA and WBC titles. That's 42 years ago. This is the biggest fight since then. This is highly anticipated. For Terence Crawford, he's already undisputed at junior welterweight. Now he's looking to become undisputed at welterweight. And more importantly about this particular video, Terence Crawford has revealed that he's been guaranteed an opportunity to fight 3-time junior middleweight world champion, who's the undisputed reigning junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, Jermell Iron Man Charlo, who is 35 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 32 going on 33 years of age, 5'11.5" with a 73-inch arm reach. With that said, Terence Crawford misspoke in an interview he recently did in his he had a block party, he had a celebration, to send him off to this training camp to relocate to focus on this fight with Errol Spence, where he's going to Vegas to focus on this fight with Errol Spence. And there was media members on hand, and in one of the interviews, he said he was promised by the PBC. Obviously, as I stated, he's the B side. So he signed a multi-fight deal with the PBC to secure himself big fights and this Errol Spence fight. And in his contract, he asked to be guaranteed a fight with Jermell Charlo. Now, he misspoke in an interview and he said that he was guaranteed a fight with undefeated 3-division, 5-time world champion, superstar boxer, Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 29 wins, no loss, no draw, 27 big wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. Well, Gervonta Tank Davis is a 135-pound lightweight. He's a 3-division champion. He's won a world title at 130, 135, and 140. But he only had one fight at 140. That was against Mario Barros for the WBA regular title. And he's predominantly made his name at 135. And he won his two major titles, the super titles at 130, the WBA and the IBF super titles at 130. He is a lightweight. So Terence Crawford said he was promised a fight with Tank Davis. I think that he meant he was promised a fight with Jermell Charlo. At the same time, he was being asked about Tank Davis, so I think that he misspoke and said that he was promised a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, which would be extremely, extremely weird that Terence Crawford would look to guarantee himself a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. That makes no sense. Terence Crawford is looking to go up to 154. Tank Davis fights at 135. So I believe he misspoke in that interview he had, and that portion has since been removed. Okay, shout out to my brother Fred, Barbershop Conversations. He did a video about it, and he revealed that portion of the interview had been removed as well. And I think it's because he misspoke when he said it. But more importantly, he's been very adamant and very eager to fight Jermell Charlo, who is also trained by Errol Spence's well-renowned 2-time trainer of the year, future Hall of Famer in Derrick James. Okay, Derrick James trains Jermell Charlo as well as Errol Spence. And Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo are extremely close friends. So Terence Crawford says that he has an issue with Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is going to have to see him because they was cool at one point in time, but once he became a welterweight and it became a reality that he and Errol Spence was on the collision course, that Jermell Charlo switched up on him and started saying he's going to get knocked out. In Terence Crawford's view, he states that Jermell Charlo became Errol Spence's biggest cheerleader and that he wants to knock out Jermell Charlo as well. So it makes zero sense that he would be promised a fight with Tank Davis, who has repeatedly stated that he is a 135-pounder and not even willing to go to 140. So he's definitely not going to 147, okay? Said he wasn't even comfortable at 140. So going to 147 is completely out the question. Although Tank Davis did make some remarks when he stated that he felt that he wanted to eventually fight and knock Terence Crawford out and get him up out of there. But again, Gervonta Tank Davis is extremely close friends with Errol Spence as well. So that's where that stems from. And so I believe that Terence Crawford was simply saying that a fight with him and Jermell Charlo has been promised. Now, Jermell Charlo has suffered a right hand injury. He has a mandatory challenger coming up in Tim Tszyu, who has a fight coming up. Tim Tszyu has a fight coming up with Carlos Ocampo. This is the second Stay Busy fight since he and Jermell Charlo fight for March had gotten canceled. He fought Tony Harrison. Now he's fighting Carlos Ocampo. He's staying active and staying busy. But Jermell Charlo, once he gets healthy and cleared, he's going to have to fight Tim Tszyu. But should Terence Crawford be victorious against Errol Spence, he's going to make himself the mandatory for Jermell Charlo. And he's already expressed that Jermell Charlo has to see him. There's no doubt where Terence Crawford wants to go after Errol Spence. Now, he and Errol Spence has a 30-day rematch clause where they both have 30 days from the fight, July 29th, so August 29th, to activate the immediate rematch clause for the loser of the fight, right? Obviously, the winner is not going to activate the rematch clause unless it's some controversial, okay? If it's controversial, then the winner would maybe, but the loser is definitely going to look to activate it because there's too much riding on the line for this fight. But Terence Crawford is saying he's been promised a fight with Jermell Charlo. That's huge. Because if he's the victor, that means that Errol Spence has been promised a fight with Jermell Charlo, or he's looking at a fight with Jermell Charlo. Believe that. Errol Spence is going to go up in weight, and he's going to look to become a world champion. And the only way he can become a world champion is to go through Jermell Charlo, who says that he's going to make a career out of fighting at 154. Okay, he has no interest and no plans to go to 160 or above. He wants to fight at 154 for the duration of his career. And so in order for Errol Spence to become a champion, he's going to have to go through Jermell Charlo, because Jermell Charlo is going to beat Tim Tszyu. So looks like both guys would look to fight Jermell Charlo eventually, unless he starts to vacate belts when he has mandatories and he only holds one belt. And then Errol Spence could fight for a vacant belt. But eventually he's going to want to unify. Eventually he beats Terence Crawford. He's going to want to become undisputed. So, but this is huge news, and it's great news that we already have fights planned out for the future, point blank and period. But let's see how everything unfolds. First things first, Terence Crawford got to beat Errol Spence. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.